So here in front of me, I have the Samsung S24 Ultra and the Google Pixel 8 Pro. I've been putting off this task slash video off for a while now. I think I'm switching back to the Pixel 8 Pro, and today I'm basically going to tell you why. Okay, let me start off this video by saying I have no major issues with the S24 Ultra. It's been a great phone. I'm just basically kind of bored with it. I want to daily drive the Pixel 8 Pro again. And there are just some things with Pixel that I prefer that I really think I'm going to use more in everyday life than what Samsung offers at the moment. Okay, so let's just talk about the timetable. So basically, I got the Pixel 8 Pro at around launch back in the fall, and then I used it all the way up until Samsung Unpacked 2024. So Samsung invited me, or courtesy of the Snapdragon Insiders program, I was invited to the Samsung Unpacked event in San Jose. It was an awesome event, and we were actually surprised with the S24 Ultras. None of us knew that we were getting these devices, but Samsung gifted us these devices for review. Very thankful for that. Basically, I'm just kind of like bored with the device. I do feel like it was a pretty good upgrade over the S23 Ultra, but I had the S23 Ultra and the S22 Ultra for a long time, and then I took a break from the Pixels. I went from the 6 Pro, and then I waited all the way up until the 8 Pro to get that device. So basically just miss having a Pixel in my hand, and a few other reasons that I'm going to go over today. Okay, so one of the things that I'm most excited about when going back to the Pixel 8 Pro is just kind of like the size and ergonomics of it. It's not that the S24 Ultra is just like really unwieldable or anything like that. I just really prefer the form factor of the S24 or of the Pixel 8 Pro, just because it just feels lighter. The ergonomics are just a lot better with this like curve on the back, while the S24 Ultra is kind of like more flat. It just makes it a lot harder to hold because it's such a wide phone. I just don't feel that when holding the Pixel 8 Pro. Like this, I feel like this is something I would never drop. Whereas the S24 Ultra, I can't really say the same. And that also plays a factor into things like cases. So I tend to get smaller cases for the S24 Ultra because the bigger cases are just like impossible to hold and even almost impossible to like help me put the phone in my pocket. So just things like that kind of just make me prefer the design of the Pixel 8 Pro. I really love this bay blue color as well, but I prefer the color of this purple S24 Ultra. Samsung, you guys need to do this color every single year. I absolutely love this color of the phone. Looking forward to what they do with the S25 Ultra, but just in terms of ergonomics, I prefer the Pixel 8 Pro right now anyway. Another weird perk of the Pixel 8 Pro is that you can kind of just like use the camera bump to balance. It's not really like the best thing in the world, but it's kind of like, it's just nice to just be able to do that. Just sticking your finger right there just kind of gives you a better sense of security when holding the phone. It's really hard to explain, but that's just something I've noticed after picking this up again. Okay, since we are talking about the camera bump, let's just talk about cameras while we're at it. So one thing I'm gonna miss on the S24 Ultra is just the camera versatility. You could just see it straight up, right now. 3 cameras on the Pixel 8 Pro. You get like 5 on the S24 Ultra that do different things. They all aren't super useful, but you just have that extra versatility, especially in terms of reach. You get up to 100 times zoom with the Samsung S24 Ultra. You really don't realize like what you're missing until it's gone with things like that. Like I've had the S22 Ultra, I have the S23 Ultra, and now the S24 Ultra. Whenever I switch away to another device, that's always one of the first things I notice is just I'm not able to extend the camera as far. I do prefer the pictures on the Pixel. I just definitely prefer the Pixel color science. I prefer the bokeh of the Pixel versus the S24 Ultra. I definitely prefer pictures, but I prefer the video on the S24 Ultra as well, which I think is like just more important in terms of content. So yeah, just has its pros and cons. Can't really put one over the other in the camera department right now, but I think I'm going to do a full review of the two, so yeah, stay tuned for that. Okay, so let's talk software now. I got these phones flipped over. We're just going through like just basic things in the user interface. Basically, I just really like how much more aesthetic the Pixel feels than the S24 Ultra. The S24 Ultra like feels more techy. It's way more customizable. It's a lot of things that you really have to like dive into to change how things look. Whereas the Pixel, there's just like so many different themes and settings that you could just adjust one time and it will like adjust everything there, and it's just simple. At this point in my life, that's like what I prefer. If this was like 5 years ago, I think I would prefer the Samsung more, just because back then I was tweaking so much more things in Android than I am now. Now I just don't have the time with work and just overall busyness and things like that. I just don't want to like play with my phone and tweak things as much as I did back in the day. So I definitely prefer the user interface of the Pixel for that reason. Things like the notification panel, I like how things are like grouped together, like each app, like everything is grouped together. Whereas on the Samsung, I don't even have any notifications right now, but it looks like everything's like broken apart. It's like a bar per notification. Not a big fan of that. I think you can like change that in settings, but I don't want to have to go into settings to do that. I just feel like the overall notification management just looks cleaner on the Pixel. Just speaking in terms of clean, I just prefer just having like this little cleanliness. Like that's the always on screen of the Pixel. Like just the time, date, like what apps I have notifications for right now. Like that's all I need. I don't need like much else. I think Samsung kind of like goes the extra route with a lot of things. I don't need like these like moving wallpapers and things like that. I don't like deal with that much. I don't like the animations. I just like the simple, clean, and smooth. And I think that's why I prefer the Pixel UI right now anyway. Let me see if I can notice anything else like while we're talking about it. Okay, here's a great example of what I was just talking about. The app drawer. I just prefer the Pixel app drawer just because it's straightforward. You swipe up, there are all your apps in alphabetical order and your most recent ones. Like, that's it. That's all I have to do. Samsung, I lose my apps a lot just because they aren't in alphabetical order. They typically don't do the most recent. I'm just like not a fan of that. I know there are settings you could change, good lock or all these other lock screen settings or anything, but I don't want to have to change that. I just prefer like how simple the Pixel makes things like the app drawer. I feel like they are the Apple-ish Android out there just in terms of simplicity with the user interface. I think that's one reason Apple is so successful. Everything is very straightforward and easy to find. I like how Google basically does the same thing for Android, just very bare bones and not a lot of extra, especially if you don't use a lot of extra like me currently. Another thing that I'm looking forward to with the Pixel is just some Pixel exclusive features, such as call screening, like right here. Basically, you're able to like filter out spam calls more efficiently by screening the person calling if you don't know the number, as well as just Google having a better overall spam management system than most other OEMs. This is huge for me personally because I get a lot of spam calls. Let's see if it's anything else I remember. Write the perfect message magically with AI. Samsung has that now. Correct spelling, grammar, and punctuation with a tap. You could literally just download Gboard for that most likely now. Clear calling, that's something new with Google. It's going to be a lot better now. I really like how you can like navigate like automated callers now. You don't even have to like listen fully to your phone. You could just look at your phone and it will like notify you when a person is finally on the line, or it just helps you navigate that automation easier through text rather than just listening to the whole prompts. That's really nice to have. Quick share, of course. Oh, this was also a big one. Just the integration of the Google phone with just Google in general. Google does a lot of research on businesses, so you can see things such as like busy times, slow times, things like that with businesses before you even call. I feel like that's just super clutch to have just in your pocket. Okay, so the last thing we're going to touch on is performance. I don't really have like a negative thing to say about Google or Samsung in this situation. I'm really just curious. Samsung has been making ridiculous advancements in their Snapdragon mobile chips every single year. S22 to 23 to 24 was just like mind-boggling how much they were able to improve in just a year. Each of those years. Tensor has not really been the same, but that's because Google kind of just started making their own chips a few years ago. Or at one point, they were really Samsung chips with like Google modified or whatever. It doesn't really matter. But overall performance is something that I will be monitoring closely on my Pixel 8 Pro, just seeing how efficient it is compared to the Snapdragon. I think that's like the biggest leap that Snapdragon took between the S23 and the S24 Ultra was just how efficient it is, and just things like battery life, standby time, how things are processed in the background. Efficiency has been huge with Snapdragon, and I'm really curious to see if Tensor can do the same thing. Okay guys, I'm gonna wrap this video up now. I'm gonna try to transfer my sim over to my Pixel 8 Pro now. I'll be doing some follow-up, maybe a new Pixel 8 review, because I don't think I did a formal review for this. Maybe a comparison between the Pixel 8 Pro and S24 Ultra when I get more time with the Pixel 8 Pro again. Let me know what kind of content you want to see. I think I have some cases coming in for both as well, so stay tuned for that. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and thanks for watching.